1 in every 68 children and almost 1 in 54 boys all across the U.S. are diagnosed with autism. For many parents, the diagnoses can be tough to handle. Joining us this morning, award-winning columnist Caryn Sullivan. She's here to share her unique perspective with us on living with autism. You're a mom who had a son who in 1993, he was diagnosed. Tell me, I mean, for parents out there even who are wondering, does my kid have autism or not? What were some of the symptoms Jack had?
Probably the most notable thing was that he stopped talking.
That seems quite dramatic. I mean,
it was dramatic, and over time, you know, he changed. He became very hyperactive and very busy. And I remember asking a neighbor who was a physician if I should be concerned because he'd acquired maybe 20 or 25 words, and then he stopped talking, but he was moving like crazy. And she said, "Oh, kids focus on different skills at different times, so be okay." Well, then a couple of months later, he was with his grandparents who didn't see him very often, and my mother-in-law said to me, "I think Jack is deaf," because I stood behind him and called his name repeatedly, and he didn't respond.
Turned around.
Right.
Wow, okay. Now, autism is something that people can live with. People can really get some help for. So I want to right off the top talk about what's happening next Saturday. There's a special autism walk. Tell me about that and why you hope people will participate.
Well, Fraser is the oldest and largest provider of services for people and families who are dealing with autism. And I'm on their board. I'm very honored to be on their board. My son receives services from them. So they have an annual walk at the Mall of America, and people walk individually or as parts of teams. And they have activities and, you know, different things, so it's very welcoming to anyone who is either living with autism or is interested in learning more. And Jack and I will be there.
Jack and you will be there. And the great thing about this, I mean, again, with all the research that's happening with the work at Fraser, Jack's living there kind of now almost like bachelor pad style, doing well. I mean, really living life to his fullest. Jack has a younger sister, your daughter, Julia.
Yes.
There was something, you know, Jack's going through this difficulty. You as a parent are trying to go through the challenges of having a child with autism, but then something else lands on your plate. Tell me about that.
Well, when he was diagnosed in '93, I didn't know anything about autism. I knew it was, you know, very significant development. So I actually retired from the practice of law, and for 10 years focused on him because his sister was born shortly after his diagnosis.
And what did she have?
She ended up having a very rare disease called paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. The only cure for it is a bone marrow transplant.
And with that, I love this. Jack calls it his mojo.
Mojo.
What was his mojo sort of gift to his little sister that he was able to get?
His mojo was his bone marrow. He donated his bone marrow to her 11 years ago this month. So we just celebrated what in the bone marrow transplant world is considered your second birthday. On April 5th.
Tell me, you know, to end this on a positive note, those are some tough things to go through. Yeah. As a mom and as a family, what have you really gleaned from the autism, you know, with your son and really him overcoming that, even being able to be that superhero to his younger sister? What is the big takeaway for you?
For me, it's that for so long I was focused on his challenges and how to make him more normal and how to help him. And I've realized now that was really an errant way to look at it. But what I've realized is everyone has mojo, everyone has gifts. And his gift to his sister was to save her life.
Love it. Everyone has a mojo. And Caryn's an author. We've got information on her book, her writings, as well as autism. That's on our website at KSTP.com.